actually been edited a few times, so I'm not sure if in this edit I mentioned the tea light. So just in case I didn't, because I haven't edited this particular segment yet, I recommend a tea light size candle or a chime candle. I talked about chime candles in a previous episode. So something small so that you can get this spell done and that you can actually watch it complete. If you use a prayer candle or a 7-day candle, it's the same thing. Those come in glass. Those take longer. Those take several days. In fact, there's one that I need to complete. I'll be honest with you. I've been doing spells for so long that do I forget when I have things that I need to do spiritually? Yeah, all the time. So if you're using a 7-day or prayer candle, those do take longer. And sometimes you even have to wait a few days before that spell is completed. So it's up to you what size you use. Once this candle is completed, you're going to thank the universe, your spirit guides, whatever energy it is that you worked with, and you can dispose of that candle. I have given you many different options previously on how you can dispose of the candle. You, of course, can also just throw it away, so long as you are saying, hey, I'm closing out this spell, universe. Thank you for your help. In any language, thank you. So, okay. So go ahead and dispose of that candle after it's completed. The candy that's left over, you are going to do the same thing. You do not keep an offering. Okay. Now this candy, let's say that you have an altar. This is for those of you who have an altar or you have a space, a spiritual space. You're going to leave that candy there because it's an offering. Leave it there for at least 7 days. Okay. After that 7 days, again, same thing. You can either choose to leave it on your altar. I leave certain offerings forever. But they're there forever. When it comes to food and drink, I always use food and drink that is in closed containers, etc. But so that I can leave it on the altar as long as possible. And it is up to you after that 7 days if you want to leave it on there. If not, you're going to let the universe or whoever, whatever deity, guardian angel, whatever that you worked with, know that you are disposing of that offering. Okay. And then you remove it. Then you can throw it away. Okay. Cause that's not something you can just put back into the earth. And when you're working with something like fruit, you can put the seeds back into the earth. And that's a good way to say thank you to the universe, etc., for their help on sweetening up this area of your life. Okay. And anytime that we finish a spell, class, what do we say at the end of that spell? And so it is. That's right. And you can say, and so it is. You can say as above, so below, so mote it be. And so it is what I typically teach you because that's what I use. But you use what is best for you. Another thing that I use a lot, at the end of spells is sound. So I will typically ring what is called witch's bells. So you can ring a bell. If you want to, you can clap your hands. It is all about the energy. And one, you're letting your spirit guides, etc., know, hey, I am ready for your energy to take over. I'm ready for you to jump in here. But also this spell is completed. This spell is ready, etc. Okay. And from there, what you're going to do with the piece of paper once this spell is completely finished is you're going to store it somewhere. And remember, I asked you to hang on to some of that candy. You're going to put one of those pieces of candy with it. And this is to hang on to that energy of sweetness. Okay. If you have to end up putting this in the freezer, then that's fine. Remember, when we put things in the freezer, though, we are freezing that energy. But I'm referring to the candy more than anything. If you just kind of want the symbolism of it and you want to hang on to it, put it in the freezer or the refrigerator. Okay. If you live somewhere with people, etc., that are ignorant, that are not open-minded, that have all kinds of stupidity towards you about your beliefs, etc., and so you cannot openly practice, then what I want you to do is just a part of this spell. I want you to write down your intention of what it is that you want sweeter in your life. And really quickly, because I almost forgot to say this, whenever you are doing what's called dressing a candle, which means you're putting herbs, etc., into that candle, one, of course, be safe, but keep in mind that you can put a little bit of honey or a little bit of sugar. Just be mindful of bugs, etc. And you don't want that in your home. And I'm really careful about using those particular types. But if that's something you want to do and you can safely do it, some people have their altar outside. Some people do workings outside. Feel free to do that, but also keep in mind that critters can get to it there too. But that's just to kind of give you an idea, an example. So for the people who cannot openly practice, but you still want to do this, or you can't burn candles, etc., you're going to write down your intention the same way that, people who are going to be using the candle would. After that, you're going to take that piece of paper and you are going to put it somewhere safely. So in other words, you don't have a candle that you're waiting on, but you're going to put this somewhere safely that you see often. Okay. Hopefully for those of you who do have to hide this, it's somewhere where you can find it and you don't forget all about it. Leave the candy with it. Okay. And eat the rest. If you're somewhere where Halloween is not celebrated, I do hope that you still get to participate, or that you still want to participate, I should say. And, either way, I want to know how this spell works out for you. And the second option of the spell, for those of you who can't use a candle, you don't dispose of the paper. You're going to treat it like you would a journal. You're just going to put it away somewhere and visit it here and there. I would say every 6 months, check on it, check on that manifestation, see how it's going. And then from there, store it away forever. Okay. And that is how you complete the spell. And so it is. New moons. Let's talk about the pink unicorn in the room. That's my disclaimer. A collective tarot reading is meant for a collective audience because this is not a personal tarot reading. If you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on my website. My website link is Lua. That's Lua Nova.carrd.co. That website link is in the show notes, and I will give it to you again at the end of my show. Okay. Also, I don't do any kind of spiritual work without consent. So if you don't consent to having your tarot cards read, that's fine. You can go ahead and hang up now. We'll talk next week. Okay. For everyone else, I want you to do me a favor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the bullshit. Okay, new moons, I want you to concentrate on this reading. Spirit guides, can you give me a reading? Can you give me some cards, for my new moons? This reading is not for me. This reading is for the new moons who tune in and are subscribed to my podcast. It is strictly for them. And I mean my subscribers. I am not referring to people who just dibble and dabble on into my podcast. I mean my real new moons. Spirit, help me to give them the message that you want to send. Okay. All right. I do not shuffle these cards any particular amount of times, and there's no particular amount of cards that I pull anymore. You know that I am big on just going with the flow now. All right. I used to hold back a lot, mainly for the purposes of time. Not because I don't enjoy doing readings, because I very much so do. I am a tarot card reader of 16 years. And I did the math one day and was like, man, it's been 16 years. It's been almost 17 years. But, all right, new moons. What is your reading for this week? Spirit, what is the reading this week for my new moons? Are there any more cards that I need to pull? Okay. Oh my God. What a beautiful reading. I can't wait to tell you the cards that came out. Spirit, should we leave it at these two cards? I think so too, because we want upbeat readings. So the card numbers are 0 and 17. Can you guess what cards those are? Those of you who are familiar with the tarot. For those of you who are familiar with the tarot, you guessed correctly. Card 0 is the first one, the Fool. And card number 17 is, as you know, what is the card that my dog was named after that influenced his name? That is right, class. The Star card. I love talking to you all as though we're all in a classroom together. It's just fun for me. It's just a fun visual. But starting off with the Fool's journey. The Fool is tarot. It is, when you look at the Rider-Waite deck, it is such an important part of what tarot is. It is about our journey in life. It is about our lessons that we're learning in life, etc. Okay. And so starting off with this new beginning energy, I told you all in a recent reading that October was going to be about beginnings because we're still in eclipse season. We're still in that energy of that beginning. Then that's what the new moon represents. At the time of this reading, this is long before we get to full moon or waning moon energy. Okay. You know that I record all of my episodes before, in advance is what I meant to say. So as you're starting off this new beginning, you've left so many people behind in a good way. There's a lot of people that you've cut off this year because you know that they didn't really have your best interest at heart. They didn't really care to see you do well. They had their biases. They were quick to point fingers at you. They were quick to make judgments about you. And so you were smart enough to keep moving forward. Maybe you were building a stronger relationship with your marital partner. Maybe you moved somewhere and you just wanted to start all over again. But keep in mind that when it comes to tarot, the Fool who starts off tarot, the entire tarot deck is based on his journey. And it's a him in this card. That's why I'm using that pronoun. But it's based on the journey of the Fool. Okay. And it doesn't mean you're dumb whatsoever. It means that you have this spiritual awakening that you're constantly going through because we always are. We're always learning. Whether you want to or not, you're always learning. And you're the kind of person who not only are you learning, you're helping other people get there too. They're starting, you know, there's some of you, there's a coworker where they see you journaling or they see you taking the time to maybe meditate at your desk. And rather than taking it as a negative, they are like, wow, I want to learn more about that. And they're asking you questions and you're sharing. And I definitely see some of you sharing my podcast a lot. I'm seeing my TikToks being shared a lot more. And that tells me that the help, for me at least, is getting through to a lot of you. And that's the point, is that when I help you, you help someone else, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's the kind of pyramid we want to be a part of. Not one of these MLM scams on Facebook. This is the kind of pyramid where we want to keep helping the next person and the next person and the next person, because that helps our own manifestation. That also helps our own energy and our own momentum. And so the Fool, always keep that energy in mind when you want to start off something new. And for some of you, I definitely see some of you are good at roller skating and somebody wants to learn how to do that from you. I want to learn how to do that from you. I have coordination. I think I could do it. You want to learn how to samba from me? I'll teach you. You teach me how to roller skate. But that's how the energy that we're starting off with is that there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you that are starting these new ventures. Some of them are fun, like you're taking a class. Some of them are, some of you are cooking. Are you learning to cook? I do have some young listeners. I love that for you. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we are on the Fool's journey and it leads to the next card. And we're going to make this the last card just because I was picking up on more of a silence from your spirit guides this week. They didn't feel like there was a lot that they needed to push out, as far as a message. They kind of feel like you get it, so to speak. And the next card is card number 17, the Star. And the reason why I named my Pomeranian, who is 16, after the Star card is because at the time that I adopted him, I was going through a lot of transition in my personal life. I was getting out of a really terrible and abusive relationship. I was having all these spiritual awakenings. It's when I began to really understand my witchiness, so to speak. And so I associate the Star card with that part of our spiritual journey when a lot of things are ending and there's this new beginning. I want you to really take the second to look at the Star card, and that she is so unbothered. First of all, for those of you who are not familiar with what the Star card looks like, it is a naked woman who is near water and there are stars all around her. And she is just free and happy. And the Star is about this happy feeling. It is about, hold on, I'm sorry. I was getting a message. Spiritual message here. Hold on. You are understanding more of your purpose. One of your spirit guides is so proud of you as they wiggle their red nails, because we both have our nails done. You know, I always have my nails done. They're saying, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. They said that over and over and over again. So you have a woman that is a spirit guide. I'm not sure. I'm not going to ask her because I kind of want to keep that private. I mean, you know, like, I don't like to give away too much when it comes to certain readings, because sometimes I can tell that you all don't want me to tell.